Hello, good morning and welcome to A2Lytics channel. In this session, we are going to discuss three terminologies. First is artificial intelligence, second machine learning, and third one is deep learning. So in this session, we are going to discuss meaning of these terminologies and examples of these different terminologies and relationship between these terminologies we are going to discuss. So let's see the first term. So before discussing these terminologies, let's see relationship between these terminologies. So what is the relationship between artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning? So relationship between these three terms is shown by using Venn diagram. So if you see on the screen, this is a Venn diagram which shows relationship between three terms: artificial intelligence, then machine learning and deep learning. So these are the subsets. So machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So this is a relationship between these three terms. Okay, so let's see meaning of these terminologies one by one. So the first term is artificial intelligence. So what is mean by artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence means building smart machines which are capable of performing tasks which need human intelligence. Okay, so there are different types of tasks are there. Some tasks can be performed by machines, and some tasks can be performed by human being where intelligence is required. Okay, so there are some tasks where intelligence is required. For example, driving a car. This is a task. Driving a car is a task where human intelligence is required. But for example, any other mechanical task which can be performed by machine, suppose digging a hole. Okay, so which can be performed by the machine, right? In that case, machine intelligence is not required, right? So artificial intelligence is a domain where we are going to focus on building a machine with intelligence. So it is a domain which focus on making the machine with the intelligence, right? So by developing machines, what we want to do is we want to make the machine to think and learn. So in this process, in this artificial intelligence process, we want to make the machines to think and to learn new things. So instead of doing the task as per steps, the machine should learn and machine should think. So after making such a machine, so machine will get the ability to interpret data. It will learn from the data, and after learning those things, it will use it for performing given task. It will use it for performing given task. For examples, what are the examples of artificial intelligence? For example, visual perception, speech recognition, or language translation. So these are the some examples of artificial intelligence. Next is types of artificial intelligence. So there are three types of artificial intelligence. So the first type is called as artificial narrow intelligence, ANI. Short form is ANI. Okay. In this type, we are going to make the machine expert in one domain. We want to make the machine, because human being is expert in multiple domains. Okay, human can work in multiple domain. He know multiple domains. He work in multiple fields. So in artificial narrow intelligence type, we want to make the machine expert in one of the domain, not in all. Okay. For example, so these are the some agents, chatbots, we can call them as a chatbot. Siri, Alexa, Cortana, these are the some examples. These are the chatbot examples which are having artificial narrow intelligence. They are having artificial narrow intelligence. So they give answer to the questions. They give answer to the questions. So in artificial narrow intelligence, we are going to make intelligent machines, the machines which are intelligent in only one domain. That is called as a artificial narrow intelligence. Okay. Second type is artificial general intelligence. It is called as a AGI. AGI. Okay. So in this type of intelligence, we want to make the machine which is intelligent like human. Okay. The machine is as intelligent as human being. That is a second type. Okay. So the machine intelligence is equal to human intelligence. Okay. Means like a human, machine can also perform different tasks. Perform task in different domains. Okay. As human being perform task in different domain, he is expert in different domain. So we want to make a machine which is capable of working in different domain. That is called as a artificial general intelligence, which is expert in multiple domains. Next, third type is artificial super intelligent, ASI. In this case, we want to make a machine which is more intelligent than human being. Okay, we want to make more intelligent machine. Okay, who is intelligent than the human being. Okay, so this is a superficial type. It is very difficult to make the machine who is more intelligent than the machine. Okay, so if you see, these are the three types, or we can say these are the three stages how we can make the machine intelligent, step by step. So in first step, in stage 1, what we can do is we can make machine intelligent in one domain. The machine is intelligent in only one domain. Afterwards, what we will do is gradually we'll add more and more domains, or we will make the machine expert in more and more domains, so that its intelligence become equal to the human being. And afterwards, we will try to make the machine which is more intelligent than the human being. Okay, so this is the third stages, or these are the three types of artificial intelligence. Okay, so at current state, we have achieved artificial narrow intelligence type. Right now, we have achieved artificial narrow intelligence. So this stage is achieved. This particular stage is achieved. Artificial narrow intelligence is achieved. So in coming days, artificial general intelligence will be achieved, or artificial super intelligence will be achieved. So these are the three types of artificial intelligence, or these are the three stages of artificial intelligence. How we can make the machine intelligent? What are the stages of making machine more and more intelligent? Next is, what are the subsets of artificial intelligence? So in artificial intelligence, it is a very large domain. Artificial intelligence is a very large domain. There are multiple subsets in the artificial intelligence. So what are the subsets? So the first subset is a machine learning. The first subset is a machine learning. Second is a natural language processing, expert system, speech recognition, planning, robotics, computer vision. So these are the different domains are there, or subsets are there in the artificial intelligence. So in today's session, we are going to focus on one subset of artificial intelligence that is called as a machine learning. So we are going to discuss about machine learning only. We are not going to discuss other subsets of artificial intelligence. So we are going to discuss on machine learning. After that, we are going to discuss deep learning. Okay, so deep learning, which is again subset of machine learning, right? So in today's session, we are going to discuss these two terms, artificial intelligence and its type. Already we have discussed. Then subtype of or subset of artificial intelligence, that is machine learning, we will discuss, and subset of machine learning, that is deep learning, we are going to discuss. Next is a machine learning, right? Now here in machine learning, so this is a process of machine learning. So if you see machines, if you see machine means hardware. Machines having hardware, and in order to operate that machine, what we have to do is we have to install computer. We have to install computer, and to operate the computer, we have to write a software. We have to write a software. Okay, software is nothing but programs. Okay, so program contains instructions, different types of instruction. So as per the instruction written in the program, the computer will operate, and as per the instructions from the computer, the machine will work. The machine will work. So we have to write instructions. We have to write instructions. So whatever instructions we have written in the program, as per those instructions, computer will work. As per computer instruction, machine will work. Okay. So the working of the machine, it depends on the instruction. As per instruction, a machine work. As per instruction, machine work. In machine learning, one more part we are adding, one more component we are adding, that is called as a data. That is called as a data. So here the software is working based on the instruction plus data. Which data? Previous data. That is called as a historical data. Okay. So what is input to the software? Programs are there, instructions are there, and some historical data is given, and a machine will learn from that data, and that learning it will use for operating the machine. That learning it will use for operating the machine, and this process is called as a machine learning. Okay. So software will be trained by using historical data, and once the software get trained, that trained software we are going to use for operating the machine, and this process is called as a machine learning. Okay, so we are not using only instructions, only program for operating the machine, but we use data we use some historical data, some examples we use to train that software. Once the software get trained, that software we are going to use for operating the machine. So here some sort of experience we are using. So what we are using is here experience. So in the process we are using experience. Okay, so how peoples or human being perform the task. Okay, how human being perform the task perfectly because of experience. The human being does the task repeatedly, he get the experience. So once he get the experience, he can do the next task very efficiently, very accurately. So that kind of experience we want to include in the machine. Instead of making it work based on the instruction, we want to add some experience, some expertise in the machine. So how we can add based on the data. So this is the flow. So give some input training data to the algorithm. So by using that training data, your algorithm will learn it. So how to perform different tasks, how, for example, how to identify different characters, character recognition. Okay, how to recognize a character. This is a process. So if you give different characters as an input to your program, so these are the different characters which are written in different style, different characters in a different style. These are the inputs, different style. Your algorithm will learn those different characters with a different style. So it has learned. So how a particular, what are the different ways of writing a particular character? Let's say this is a letter A. What are the different style of writing A? Okay, like this. So it will learn it. Okay, so once it learn, that module can be used for identifying new input, new data. Okay, so next time when you give the data like this, definitely it will identify this character as a character A. Okay, so this process is called as a machine learning. Okay, so we are not only write a program for a software, but we train that software with previous data, historical data, to make it learn. Okay, so this is called as a machine learning. This is called as a machine learning. So here, what is the advantage? What is the advantage? So if you give more input to the machine will get more and more experience. Okay, machine will get a more experience and machine can perform the task more accurately. Okay, so that is the advantage of machine learning. Now let's see the types of machine learning. What are the types of machine learning? There are 3 types of machine learning. There are basically 3 types of machine learning. First is a supervised machine learning. Second is a reinforcement learning, and third one is a unsupervised machine learning. Okay, so let's see what is meant by supervised, what is meant by unsupervised, or what is meant by reinforcement learning. So supervised learning, so here is a figure which shows supervised learning. Here a definition is given. Supervised machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that focus on training model to make prediction or decision based on the labeled training data. Okay, so in machine learning we are giving data as a input. So to your program, to your algorithm, you have to give input data. So what kind of data we are giving? We are giving labeled data as a input. So this is a labeled data. Okay, labeled data as a input. We have to give this label data as an input. So this is your what we can say, it is program, we can call it as a algorithm, or we can call it as a model. Different name you can use. Okay, program, algorithm, model. So to this program, we give labeled data as a input. Okay, and by using that labeled data, we train that model, program, algorithm, and once it learn that data, that which figure is having which label. Suppose these are the images, these are the 3 images. So what is the label of these images? What is the label of these images? And what is the label of these images? If machine able to learn it, then we can say that this is called as a learning process. Okay, so what is the learning process? If the machine able to categorize images into different categories, in appropriate categories, so this kind of image should be categorized in a carrot category, this type of image should be categorized in the bell pepper, and this type of image as a tomato, then we can say that machine has learned that categorization process. Machine has learned the categorization process. So this is called as a supervised. So why it is called as a supervised? Because we are training machine by using labeled output data. Okay, so 2 input we are giving here. We are giving 2 inputs. So the first input is a images, and second input is a labels. We are providing images and their corresponding labels also. Okay, 2 inputs we are giving. Okay, so give input from input images and see what the machine produces. Okay, and compare with the actual label. Whatever output the machine gives, compare that output with the actual label, and if it is correct, it's okay, go to the next image. If not, make changes in the program. Okay, so this is called as a learning process. This is called as a learning process, right? So that's why it is called as a supervised. Okay, so once the model get trained, we'll test it, we'll check whether it has learned it properly or not. Okay, so that can be done by using testing data. That can be done by using testing data. Okay, so give some new images to the machine and check whether it correctly categorize those images or not. Okay, and if it correctly categorized, then you can say that machine has learned it properly and it is working correctly. So this is called as a supervised learning. This is called as a supervised learning. Next is unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning where algorithm learn from unlabeled data. So here data is a unlabeled data. Data is not labeled, it is a unlabeled data, and without any predefined output. Okay, so here predefined output is not given to the machine, only input is given, no label is given as an input. Okay, that is called as a unsupervised learning as compared to the previous diagram. So here 2 inputs are there. This is a first input, this is a second input. First input is images, second input is labels. But in case of unsupervised, there is only one input, that is called as images. Input is images. Okay, so this is called as a unsupervised. Okay, so images are given as an input, and machine will learn this input and it will group based on the features of the data. It will form a group of those input images. Okay, so this is the first group of images which are very similar to each other. This is the second group of images which are again similar to each other, and this is the third group of images which are similar to each other. So based on the similarity of the data, similarity of the input images, it will form a group of images. Okay, so here we are not going to compare the output of the machine with the label. Okay, predefined target output. So this is called as a unsupervised learning. This process is called as a unsupervised learning. Okay. Third is a reinforcement learning. So here it is a combination of supervised and unsupervised. Reinforcement learning is a machine learning paradigm that focuses on how agents learn to interact with the environment to maximize the cumulative reward. Right, so here is a example. So how the small baby does the activity based on the input. Okay, so if the baby is sitting, and if no input is given, and the baby will sit as it is, and if suppose if he follow the instruction given by mother or elder, then what we'll do is we'll give some reward. Let's say we'll give some milk to that particular baby. Okay, and if the baby is not following the instructions, then we will not give the milk. Okay, so this is a way of training. This is a way of training, reinforcement. If you give input to the machine, and if the machine is performing well, then you give some positive input, and if the machine is not performing well or machine is not learning that input, then you give the negative input. So there are two types of reinforcement learning. So first is reinforcement learning with a positive reinforcement. And second is with a negative reinforcement. So these are the two types of reinforcement learning. Okay, so the input which is given to the machine is a data, input is a data, plus some feedback is given as a positive or negative. Okay, data is given to the machine. If the machine learn correctly, give the positive feedback, and if the machine does not learn the data properly, then give the negative feedback, so that machine will improve the learning. Okay, so these are the three types. Learning with labeled data is called as a supervised learning. Learning without labeled data is called as a unsupervised. Learning with only feedback is called as a reinforcement learning. Next, third term is called as a deep learning. So here, before discussing this deep learning, we need to discuss two types of networks: artificial neural network, and second is a deep neural network. What is the difference? Artificial neural network means it is a network which mimics the human neural network. So this is a network which mimic human neural network. Okay, how neurons in the human brain form a network, how they work parallelly, how they do the faster processing, and how accurately they give the result. Okay, so based on that, the artificial neural network is constructed, and that neural network is trained and used. So this is the artificial neural network, and one of the type of artificial neural network is a deep neural network. So here, why the term deep? Deep is nothing but more number of layers. Deep concept is more number of layers are added. Here hidden layers are added. That is called as a deep. Okay, deep neural artificial neural network with more number of hidden layer is called as a deep neural network. So the purpose of adding many hidden layer is to increase its capacity. Okay, increase its capacity to train that network for the complex problem. To train the network for complex problem, right? So these are the two types of networks. Now let's see what is meant by deep learning first. See, in earlier slide, we discussed about these things. Program, earlier softwares were written by using programs. Now in machine learning, we have added data, program plus data, right? Program is there, and that program is trained with the data. And now here one more property we want to add, that is called as a approximation. Approximation or cognitive property, cognitive property of the human being. So these properties, these features, we can say, these features we want to add in the machine learning. We want to add approximation property in machine learning, cognitive property in the machine learning. Okay, so the way human brain work while performing the task, how human brain work. Human brain apply approximation concept. Human brain use cognitive concept while performing the task, while learning the task. It apply different. So what we want to make the machine work according to these features. We want to bring these features into machine, approximation feature, cognitive feature in the machine. And that type of learning, that type of training is called as a deep learning. Okay, so program, data, approximation, cognitive, this feature we want to use in the machine, and that process is called as a deep learning process. That process is called as a deep learning process. What are the types of deep learning networks? So there are different types of networks available. So types of neural network and their applications. So first is a artificial neural network, which is also called as feed forward neural network. Feed forward neural network. So application, it is used for regression, classification type of task. It is used. Second type of deep learning neural network is a convolution neural network. which is used in computer vision applications. Computer vision application. Third is a recurrent neural network, which is used in time series analysis. Fourth is the self-organizing maps type of deep learning network, which is used in feature detection. Fifth is a Boltzmann machine, deep learning Boltzmann machine, used in the recommendation system. Sixth is a autoencoder type of deep learning network, which is used in recommendation system. So these are the different types of deep learning networks, neural networks, and their corresponding applications. So finally, if you see, the structure is something like this. Okay. So if you see the relationship between these different terms, this is a relationship. Okay. So artificial intelligence, it is a domain of computer science in which we want to make the machine capable of performing tasks which need human intelligence. Okay. Machine learning, we want to train the machine by using data. Okay. So in artificial intelligence, to make machines to perform tasks with or by applying intelligence. Machine learning train machines with data or experience, examples, etc. Okay. Neural network, computing model which mimic human brain, the way human brain work, mimic that working fashion. Deep learning, a neural network, artificial neural network with more hidden layers is called as a deep learning. Okay. So these are the four terms: artificial intelligence, then machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Then in machine learning, neural networks are used, and a special type of neural network is called as a deep neural network. Okay. So these are the terms. So in this session, we discussed artificial intelligence, what is meant by artificial intelligence, then different levels of artificial intelligence we have discussed, then subset of artificial intelligence we have discussed, then what is meant by machine learning, types of machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. After that, we discussed about types of neural network, that is artificial neural network and deep neural network we have discussed. And After that, we discussed about deep learning. What is meant by deep learning we have discussed. And after that, types of deep learning we have discussed. So thanks for watching.